Hey guys, I'm Dr. Angelica. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I hope you are joining your partner or a friend and you are not alone. You see, it's time to practice consciousness or conscious relationships. It's about a we consciousness, and it's not about just an I consciousness. During the time of Valentine's, it just brings us to that awareness that we do need people. Hey Pedro, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. So, when we are in a relationship, it's not just about one person, it's about the we. It's the we consciousness. You see, we are approaching a period of time when relationships are ready to go through major redesign. I don't think that we should be living the same patterns that our parents lived, where I remember our parents were together and they would not break up the relationship. And I'm not saying to break it up, but they lived in a relationship where they didn't accept each other and they still lived together. Hey, beautiful Nora, great to see you. Thanks for joining me. And they lived in a relationship and yet they didn't accept each other. They weren't tolerating each other, but yet they were living in the same house. And it not only impacted and affected them, but it affected us as children. So I think that if you are working on developing relationships and improving relationships, I think that consciousness of the we consciousness really needs to be developed. And by what I mean by that is that you have to come into the relationship being committed and knowing that there's going to be growth, that there's going to be changes throughout the lifetime. And we grow as individuals. We never stay the same. I'm not the same person from last year. Your husband, your partner, or anybody that you're going into a relationship will not be the same person that you have met at that moment. Let's say you met them last year, or if you're going to meet them this year, next year they're not going to be the same person. So once you develop that consciousness awareness of growth, and you take full responsibility and saying, you know what, growth is always going to come and it's important, and you're committed to growing and working on developing that relationship, I think that it's going to be a healthier relationship, because you begin to accept each other physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And you're not just expecting this robot to keep functioning and being the same person that you met before. I mean, there's times that you're going to have to remind the person, you know what? Can you tell me that you love me? Or when you do this, I feel loved. Or you have to remind the person how or what makes you feel loved. You can't take it for granted that this person knows what you want in life. So remember to remind and have those conversations of love. When you do this, it makes me feel loved. When I hear or when I see, this is how I feel. Those conversations are really, really important. Nora, go ahead and make some comments, because I know you are great on relationships as well. Anybody else who's joining, if you want to comment about relationships on what would help people to create deeper connections of love. And because let me tell you, even if you're building and you're creating goals, business goals, health goals, I don't care what type of goals you're creating, we are all wanting to find love, and we all want to feel loved in one way or another, So having a partner sometimes gives us a sense of belonging, So if you are working on a business goal and you have a partner, you have to remember your partner and love your partner, because you begin to grow out of love. you know, and then that's why we have high rates of divorce, because we're so focused on other things in life and we forget our partners and we leave our partners behind. We're growing and then they're just falling behind and we're not taking them with us, instead of both, because it takes two, both of us working on growing together, developing and expanding, so that we stay together, we stay connected. And I just feel that, you know, we all have a lot of wounds from the past, and being able to know that we have wounds from the past and being able to verbalize and be able to accept how we feel and mention the feelings of emotions, you know, the emotions that we are experiencing in the relationships. Like, I feel sad today, or I had a hard time at work and right now I need my quiet time. I mean, you really need to communicate your needs, you know, both of them, and then learning how to respect the space so that you develop stronger bonds, stronger relationships, and really being able to learn how to love each other in different ways. Nora is saying that people expect others to know what they're thinking. That is why too much to expect. And then speak about what you want and don't be embarrassed about your feelings. You know, that's true. We can't be embarrassed about our feelings. Especially, I mean, I really have to go into the topic of intimacy, but I'll do it deeper in the other side when you go into my membership side, because intimacy is one of the reasons why there's a lot of divorces. Nora, you might want to kind of share and talk about that, because we either don't express our needs, or many times, you know, we begin to feel I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that, and our body. I mean, there's a remarkable book that you need to connect with, and let me tell you, it's called Rewire Your Brain for Love, Creating Vibrant Relationships Using the Science of Mindfulness. And it talks about the alarm buttons and how we kind of shut off when it comes to sex, you know, when you're talking about sex, and you begin to panic and your body goes into this mode when you're thinking I'm fat, I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, he might not like me anymore. And it's a really good book. You need to read it, okay? And it goes deep into the topic of all sorts of love and sex. And I think that as partners, we need to have those deep conversations. What we like, what we don't like. If our expectations are there, you know, expectations are one thing, but being able to have wiggle room around those expectations and setting boundaries that are healthy and that are always win-win for all. Anyways, this is one of my favorite topics, relationships. So, because I've been in the journey of discovering and learning about relationships, and yes, I've had divorces, but I've learned, you know, like the book says by John Maxwell, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, and I've learned a lot. So anyways, thank you, Herbert, for joining us. Comment, share, and like, and send me those little hearts here, because it is Valentine's and we all want to feel loved. So if you can do that for me, I would truly appreciate it. You guys have a remarkable day. Enjoy your loved ones. And I will see you tomorrow on the 60-day challenge. Thank you, Nora, for sharing. And hugs to all. Bye-bye.